Hi guys, and welcome to today's tour of my Notion setup. If you don't know what Notion is, it is a free and super powerful productivity app that is 100% customizable, so you can use it to do anything you want, from tracking your expenses to organizing your whole life, literally. To be honest, it can look a little intimidating at first. Don't worry, I needed 3 attempts until I got started with it myself, but there are a ton of YouTube tutorials out there that can help you with your first steps, as well as really cool free templates that you can use. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I use Notion as a college student. So without further ado, let's jump right in. First off, Notion lets you create lots of different pages and embed different sub-pages within it. The first page I have here is my university page, and I called it Summer Semester 2021. Notion allows you to customize your pages by adding a cute emoji icon and by adding a custom cover, or you can just use photos from Unsplash. In my case, I used a photo from my hometown passout that I took last summer. I used Janice Studies template and just customized it so it fits my own needs. So the first thing here is an embedded subpage, which is called Semester Planning, and I'm just gonna show you very quick because it's super helpful. So what this is, basically, it's the plan to all my future semesters as well as my current one. This is my current semester. Here are all the courses I'm taking this semester, and these are the columns. So the first one is a tag that shows me if the course belongs to geography, English, or Spanish. Those are my 3 subjects. Well, actually Spanish isn't one of them, but anyway. Then the next column shows me which module the class belongs to so that I know how many credits I'll get for the class. The next column is the name of the actual class. In this case, it will be ethnic minorities in the United States. I have another column that shows me what I have to do in order to pass the course. In this case, I need to write a paper as well as hold a presentation at some point in the semester. And those are tags that I can simply add. I selected the multi-select option because then I can add several, whereas here I have the simple select, so I can just select one. You can also choose the colors freely. Next column tells me how many credit points I'll get for the class, and on the bottom I have the sum, so I know that at the end of this semester I'll have 39 more credits. And then the last column tells me how many hours per week I have of this class. So normal classes are 2 hours per week. My Spanish class is 4 hours. So in total I'll have 14 hours of class time per week this semester. Now, of course, for the future semesters, I don't exactly know which classes I'll be taking, but I roughly laid out when I want to take which modules, so I know how many credits I'll get each semester, how many hours per week, and if I have to write like 3 papers in the semester break or 2, if I have 4 finals at the end, just for me to plan out my future semesters so that I know when I'll be able to register for the final state exam and when I'll be graduating, which is hopefully in the spring of 2024 after my 11th semester. I also noted down how many credit points I have up to this day, which is 133 out of 270. Alright, so next up on the main page is the courses I'm taking this semester. These are all sub-pages again, and if you were taking notes in Notion, you could just click in there and then take the notes within there. I'm not using Notion to take notes, however, but still I thought I'd keep that from Janice's template. So if I click on, let's say, the climatology seminar, what I did note down here is the topic of my presentation and which points I'm supposed to cover. Another cool example of how you can use this is create a list for your literature. In this case, I needed a lot of literature for my presentation in my ethnic minorities seminar, and so I wrote down every single book or paper or ebook or whatever article that I was going to use in this table, and I also noted down where I'm gonna get it from, if it is available as an ebook so that I can download it and save it to GoodNotes, or if I have to order it from the library, the signature of the book or the link so that I can find it. So this was a really helpful place to come back to whenever I needed my literature, and Notion is a great tool to create those kinds of lists, since you can use all those tags, you can make endless columns, you can add links or whatever really. I could actually open this as a page and then take reading notes from that very book. I did not do that, but that would be a great way to have all your reading notes in one place. Next up on the main page is this list of important dates that I added myself. So this was not part of Janice Studies template, but it's easy to add that yourself. Then there's my schedule, looking pretty empty, but still quite the workload. And then this is again part of Janice Studies template, which is a table where you keep all your due dates, deadlines, and final exam dates. So here's the date when it's due, and Notion automatically sorts it ascending, or you can just create a different order yourself. Then there's a tag for the course, what the task is about, if it's a presentation, a reflection, a discussion, or whatever, and then some additional notes like this reflection should be 300 words, and then just a box to tick when you're done with that task. And that's about it for the main page. So let's jump right into the next one. Actually, I'm gonna skip that one for a second because I want to go into more detail here. So the next page is the study collection page. That is where I basically lie out my YouTube content. And yeah, I'm not going to show you too many details, but I just have some topic ideas here, and I plan my videos, when I'm going to upload them, what they're going to be about, and then just here I have the scripts for the videos so that I'm not just talking too much nonsense. And then here's the caption that I just copy and paste. So that is all for that page. Moving on to the reading list. I think I found a template for that somewhere on the internet, but you can just really create a table and then just grade those columns. I have the names of the books, the author, the status, and my score. So this year I've only managed to read 4 books so far, but they have all been a 3, 4, or 5-star read. So I can highly recommend all of those, and I'm going to scroll down for you to see the rest of the books that I want to read this year. That's kind of optimistic of me to think I'll be able to read 27 books this year because I'm quite behind on that, but that's fine. If I don't manage to read all of those, that is fine too. Those are just the books that I'm currently most interested in reading, so I'll hope I'll get around to that sometime soon. And this cover photo, for example, is from Unsplash, so you can just click on change cover and then choose one that Notion provides. Or you can go to Unsplash and then just type in whatever you're looking for and set a nice cover photo, or you can just upload your own. That was just a side note. Moving on to my semester break bucket list. To be honest, there's not much to see there because my semester break is literally just over now. But I usually keep a bucket list in 3 categories. There's one thing that says that stuff that I have to do for university, stuff that I want to do for my personal future, and then stuff that I just want to do for myself. So this list is going to be filled throughout the semester when I can think of new things that I don't have time for right now, but definitely want to do during my semester break when I have more time. Next up is another page that's called Semester Abroad, and as you can see, it's still empty as well because I haven't started planning for my semester abroad. I was supposed to go this August, but obviously due to COVID, I had to postpone it, so I'm planning to go next August instead, so I still have a fair amount of time to do some planning on that, and when it's time to do that, I'll do that here on this page. So with that, we're on the last page already, and I call that Learning Hub. Those are things that I read about somewhere and that I know not a lot about but want to learn more on, but don't have the time to do research on them right away. So I just add them to this list since I can access Notion from all my devices, and then when I have time and when I'm like really bored and don't know what else to do, I can come back to that list and just research some of those topics. So that's that. And now the last page I want to go into is the Planning Hub, because I think that is what's going to help you out most if you're a college student or high school student as well and are struggling with organizing your tasks now, especially in times of online school. Alright, so here's the Planning Hub. So first up, there are my monthly goals. I make sure not to set too many goals per month so that I'm not disappointed when I don't reach them all at the end of every month. This month I have already accomplished 3 of 6 goals, which is great since I've been pretty busy since the new semester started. Let's see if I'll get around to reading I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I definitely want to start this book in April, and then let's see if I'll be able to push out 5 YouTube videos and reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you want to help me with that, I'd be more than grateful. Moving on to my weekly to-dos. So here I keep the next 2, 3, or in this case 4 weeks, and I just note the to-dos that have to be done within that week. Then I have another column that says due at some point in the future. Those are the tasks that aren't really urgent but that need to be done sometime. Now this is the core of this whole thing, the daily to-dos. And so to explain this to-do system that I use, I quickly need to jump over to Microsoft To Do, which is the one to-do list app that I really like out there out of the many. I like this app because it lets you add due dates to every single one of your tasks. You can also create different lists. For example, I created lists for every one of my courses. I added all the tasks that were in the syllabus and then added due dates. And the cool thing is when I go to this separate list, then it holds all the tasks that I ever added to any of those lists and that I added a due date to. And it sorts them according to their date. So that is a pretty cool feature because you can still create those separate lists. What you can also do is add a task to your My Day list. In this case, I already added this, and then it will show up here. Now that is quite a handy feature, to be honest, but the one thing I do not like about Microsoft To Do, and that is the reason why I prefer Notion for my to-dos, is there's only one My Day list. So say I want to do a task that is due on Friday, but I don't want to do it today. Today's Monday. I don't want to do it on Wednesday. I can add the due date Friday, but I can't add this to a list that says Wednesday. So I have to keep it in mind to add this task to my day list on Wednesday morning. And that is kind of annoying to me because I still have to keep so many things in mind. And what I want from a to-do list is to do these things for me. So that is where Notion comes in. So in Notion, I created this list of the next 2 weeks. So this is the current week. I added this in orange, and then the next week will be yellow. Now I can add any task to any given day. So let's say these are the tasks that I need to do today. And let's say my Spanish homework is due on Thursday. So I added it to Wednesday because I'm not gonna do it earlier. So I don't have to keep this in mind. I can just delegate it to Wednesday, and then on Wednesday morning, I look into Notion and I see all the tasks for the day. So this is a system that I personally prefer, to have the overview and to be able to add tasks to any day I want them. So what I do in terms of planning is I usually sit down on Sunday evenings and distribute all of those tasks of the next upcoming week to the single days. And if I don't accomplish any given task on the day, I could just move it to the next day, or say, okay, no, I'm gonna do this on Wednesday instead, and then just move it there. So this is as easy as it is. I basically use a mix of Notion and Microsoft To Do, so I still like to add those tasks for school in Microsoft To Do because of the due date, so that I make sure I don't forget anything that is due on a certain date. I could technically do this in Notion as well if I created a table like I showed you for my due dates over here. So these are the bigger due dates, like when presentations and papers are due, and those over here in Microsoft To Do, they're more like the little tasks, which I did not include in this Notion list. Otherwise it would have been really overwhelming and I didn't want that. But for general daily to-dos, I didn't want a layout like this. I wanted a layout like that instead. This might sound a little confusing, but this is what works best for me. Maybe this layout is working for you as well. You can just try it out for yourself. And this is actually the cool thing about Notion, that you can really do with it anything you like. You can customize it to your needs. You can move around stuff. For example, I could put Saturday here if I wanted to. I'm not gonna do that though. So that is basically it in terms of how I use Notion as a college student. If I'll ever find a new use for it, I'll just maybe make a new video about it and update you guys. I really hope this video was interesting and helpful to you. Let me know in the comments down below if you use Notion and what you're using it for, or if you're going to try out any of those things that I just showed you. I'd be interested in what you're doing with this app. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.